We really want to get inside the head of our clients and design a space that's not only beautiful, but beautiful to them and very functional for their family and for their needs.
I think it also always has sort of a very happy, uplifting kind of feel to it. We sort of believe in this idea of the aesthetics of happiness and the aesthetics of joy, of creating spaces that just simply make you feel good and you want to be in. There's a lot of emotion, I think, in the work that we do.
My name is Chet. My firm is called Chet Architecture, based here in Los Angeles in the neighborhood of Los Feliz.
My name is Ghislaine Viñas. I am an interior designer. We don't only do interior design work, we do any kind of design really. My firm is based in New York City.
We today are in my own personal home. I designed with Ghislaine. I did the architecture. Ghislaine did the interiors.
I think the beautiful thing about Chet and I was that we had worked on his previous house.
This house is known as the Cummings Estate. It was built in 1895. When we bought it in 2014, it was in pretty bad shape and needed a lot of restoration work. Our project was how we wanted to include our own personal aesthetics and personal values into the project. We were able to find historic photos of the house, and from that, we're able to kind of piece together what the original house looked like. My husband and I have pretty modern aesthetics. A craftsman era home from 1895 was not necessarily the house that we were looking for, but it's the house that came to us. So it was a pretty exciting process, and we did not want to demolish it. We didn't want to start over. A big part of the draw for us was this whole acre in a part of Los Angeles that we really love. The one access to the property is a very narrow driveway on one side. A big part of it was figuring out how do we kind of reorient things to really give you that kind of wow moment as you approach the house. This is the entry to the house, and there's a lot of weight on this room. It's how you get to all of the other rooms.
The whole design actually tells a story, and so I love this black line that we've incorporated into a sort of old school hotel. A lot of people don't think of rugs as a way of being able to dig deeper into the story of the interiors. And then we get to partner with the rug company, and they take all these ideas and make it all happen.
When we designed this kitchen, we really wanted it to be the center of the house and really the whole property. We moved it from kind of a cramped corner into this kind of central place. Big sliding panels that open to the garden, all of the circulation of the house, the stair that leads down to the carport and the kind of family entry. Really becomes this central place where you can always see what's happening. It's really easy to call up to the kids, have them come down to dinner. When people come over, this is always the first place that they stop and then kind of disperse into wherever they need to go.
The breakfast room is a kind of less formal eating area where the family gathers. We wanted it to have a less formal kind of feel and be very practical as well, so everything is wipeable. Chet and I worked together at designing that table. And then the rug in there is watercolor. There's a bubble cabinet that we designed called the Again and Again cabinet that serves as a buffet, and it's gentle in many ways as well because of all the pastel colors in there. This is a grown-up dining room where you want to have these extravagant meals, and it feels very luxurious and very beautiful. Picking dining chairs is kind of difficult sometimes because not only does it have to look good, but the proportion has to be right, and then it has to be comfortable. These are from A.A. Rudin. They are absolutely stunningly beautiful. They're almost like sculptures. And they look great from the back, which was a really important thing here because this is really where you see these chairs. It just sort of cradles you when you sit in it. So I am going to sit at this table and have a 4-hour, 5-hour meal. And I think that was a really important part of picking a chair that not only looked good, but also felt super comfortable. So, living room. Obviously, this Deseda sofa holds court in here and sort of starts introducing these beautiful curves. We have this curvilinear brass table. And I think what I love about this room is when you get to the chairs here, the Utrecht chairs really help in making this room very interesting. I love working with the rug company. It was templated to fit exactly in here. So we control every single aspect of this rug, where the tufting is a little higher, where it's a little lower. Also getting the colors, getting these peach and cream colors to work perfectly with our fabrics. And I think it ties everything together really beautifully. Family room was really all about comfort. You can run and dive onto the sofa. There's baby grand in there that's white, so that's sort of tongue-in-cheek. We've used peaches and blush tones and terracottas. The real inspiration for this room was actually looking out here, looking out this window and seeing all this terracotta. So we sort of looked at that, and the first thing we landed with was what was going to be the color of the sofa. And the sofa is this dusty terracotta we actually designed, and it's super durable. It's indoor-outdoor, so, I'm not worried about dogs jumping on here and kids doing whatever they want. And this was the table that we knew we were going to use in here. So that was really a really unusual pairing of this terracotta and this eggplant. These lights just give it a really whimsical, kind of fun, more relaxed feel. And that is what this room is all about. And, I think the way we tied everything together was with this rug. So this is a design that the rug company already had, enlarged the scale, and we had it templated to fit exactly in here. We have a cut in the rug there, but the design carries on. The possibilities are kind of endless. Like, you can really be creative when you're designing with these rugs and really play into the architecture. So the powder room was a funny room. This jungle expedition wallpaper, and then we wanted to throw in something really fun in there. We came up with like 20 expressions that had the word shit in it. You guys picked "It's a shit show." And I think people go in there and they just laugh. It's perfect. So you go up the stairs, then all of a sudden you hit with this turquoise and this beautiful mural. It's welcoming and soft. This is the back of the house entry, but this gets a lot of traffic. The kids going in and out, and sports practice and everything else. So we needed a rug in here that would feel inviting. We used 2 yarn colors, and it's mottled, so it hides as much dirt as possible. And then created this really fun sort of bubble element in here. And this is a beautiful, gorgeous bench. This is actually one of my textiles that we designed for HBF Textiles. It's just a really fun entry. The primary bedroom, we knew that we wanted something that was restful, blush tones, soft hues. It's layered with fabric, so there's lots of window treatments in it that really add a very soft feel to it. The art, obviously, is something that adds a lot of energy to the room. We custom designed the bed that has these rounded corners, and it's very pillowy.
We told Ghislaine that we only wanted to sleep in that room. It was really just for rest. We weren't going to put a TV in there. We didn't really want anything to distract us. No desk, not even a bookshelf. And so it really is just kind of a soft, restful space to be in. The primary bathroom, we wanted to really respect the kind of historical nature of the house. And so we really thought of the plumbing fixtures as sort of furniture pieces in the room. So there's a freestanding tub. The vanity has kind of its own furniture-like projection from the wall. And it's great space to get ready in the morning. It's bathed in light. And then you can kind of step out on the deck. It's just a really lovely, restorative way to get ready in the morning. This project really is kind of a collage of new and old elements. Part of the reason we chose Ghislaine is because we wanted to infuse it with joy and happiness and playfulness and color. It continues to feel like that warm family home that everyone wants to come back to.
Our clients typically come to us for a functional aesthetic. They love the way we create comfortable, inviting interiors that is actually functional. We really want our clients' homes to feel personal. We also want them to feel very organized. So we go through the steps of making sure we know where everything goes. And I think we're innovative in a lot of the furniture and or the space allocations. My name is Regan Baker, and I am the principal at Regan Baker Design. Today we're in my house. It's 1,800 square feet, and it is a mid-century style home. We are in Forest Knolls, which is a suburb in San Francisco. It's very foggy sometimes, but it's also very lush with greenery. Our house was built in 1961. When we bought the house, we knew that we needed to add square footage. We completely gutted it, including the exterior. I was like really wanting to figure out a way to create something interesting with a very basic box. We did hire a friend of ours to consult on a lot of these waterproofing details, but they actually did help me come up with the concepts of where we're at on the exterior. So the house used to have 2 garages, and this side of the house became our entry. This is a fun tile pattern that we use with fire clay, and then we painted the door actually the same color as the tile, just to create that overall contained mid-century color blocking feel. We are in the entry. When you walk in, we have a catch-all, a drawer for everything. We really wanted to create a place where everybody could each have a hook and dump all of their stuff, a place for you to sit and put your shoes on, but also a place to hide coats. So we're in the hallway. We have a bathroom and a laundry room here that functions for this lower level, as well as the storage that we needed. Functional storage is always key. So this was actually a carve into the garage that just worked naturally because we have utilities on the other side of this wall that just allowed this millwork to be here. We're in the lower level bathroom, but also laundry room. I love the concept and the idea of the kids being able to come in from the garage from a workout and just dumping their clothes into the laundry room. We have this antler chandelier pendant, and I loved how funky and quirky it was. I love terrazzo, and I needed it somewhere in our house, and because it's a mid-century material, it's from Concrete Collaborative, but I love that it has those peach tones and gold tones and black tones. We're now in the family room / guest / office. So one of the things that we are typically asked is a very multifunctional room. I wanted the visual when you walk in of this actual door to bifold and basically bring you and draw you out. The view back here is more eucalyptus forests. This sofa we chose is actually a sleeper sofa, which folds out. And my family, when they come over, stay here. This actual cabinet is an office that hides the office. And then of course we have this cabinet that is the TV cabinet, where a lot of video games are played these days. This poof is from Nikki Kehoe, one of my favorite vendors, an interior design firm. We also have this rug from Woven, who did all of my other rugs in my house. I personally wanted an exposed staircase and no wall here, so the house felt like a larger house, but also, again, that kind of consistency between being able to hear and see our kids and family in one area was important. This is our Primary bathroom. Because it's so small, really visually I wanted to create something that actually aesthetically looked great, functional art in a way, but also made the space feel larger. The window up above was placed to basically go wall to wall so that it would feel larger and have more depth, even the shelf at the shower. What's nice about this is you can actually open the window but have privacy as well. So that's another reason why I had it up high. The tile actually, it goes floor to ceiling to create this sense of depth and overall expansiveness. The pattern creates a texture as well, which when you add texture anywhere, it is going to give that sense of depth. And when you have it in large scale, it becomes an artistic form, expanding this space, making it feel larger than it is and giving it depth because you have this amazing Ann Sachs Popham tile. I actually did a copper finish in here. A lot of people do not like mixing metals. I do. It doesn't bother me. And so I really wanted to highlight, again, the use of finding something that patinas over time. So copper, of course, will patina over time. These pieces have patinaed. It's nice. It's got that little bronzy pieces. The fact that our bathroom is not very large, I created this shelf that's made out of the same Carrara marble as the counters to create another surface for two people. We paired it with also a 2x2 ceramic tile on this side just to create some texture and interest. When you have a lot of stone in your house, too much of it can be a bad thing. So creating that warmth and overall feel with texture and pairing it in a more mosaic pattern is what I thought would be a great idea. This house does not have forced air or heat. We did radiant heat in our floors just because another way to become more efficient with our energy, but also the space. These days you do not need AC, maybe for like a week of the year. And so the idea behind maximizing space became more important than actually a functional of a heat being needed over for 1 week. So we're in the master bedroom. The first thing you'll notice is Portatello wallpaper. My grandmother's a seamstress and she is near and dear to my heart, and I really wanted a space in our house where we could really, in a way, honor her. When I first saw this from Portatello wallpaper, I was like, this is perfect because it reminds me of my grandmother. I love the fact that this headboard is actually a custom headboard by Jovinus here, a vendor in the city that we work with quite often. The idea behind this is there's not a ton of space in this room and we needed nightstands, and so something that architecturally would have a mid-century modern nod with these like channeled tufting on the headboard was definitely something that was relating to the slats on the front of the house, to the stairs, and that I really wanted to connect in the feeling as well and bring here. The walnut is also another consistent finish that I use throughout. Again, a very mid-century modern feel. And this is Workstead light fixtures that I've also am obsessed with. They're lights, they're artisanal light fixtures in New York City. Again, we carried floor to ceiling, beautiful furniture-like cabinetry that houses all of our clothes. So we have a dresser, but this is all of our hanging clothes and shoes. So this is where our laundry baskets live, as well as my jewelry and a few more hanging. But again, an extension of closet space, but the adjacency to the bathroom was actually a great way to expand that small bathroom. So this is the bar. When you first walk up from the stairs, this is the first thing you see, and I really wanted it to be a moment that said who we were. We enjoy having a nice cocktail or a glass of wine or whatnot at night, and I knew that I needed to cover up the seam in the back behind where the fridge and the wall is, and I also wanted some separation between. We have a bathroom here for privacy, just to create something that's more substantial than just a corner. And so this is an amazing piece by Fine Root here in San Francisco, a vendor who we use quite a bit for furniture. So there's this bar here, just for some detail, but if there was an earthquake, they fell off, it would it would not be a problem. That's one of my favorite pieces. So when you walk up, this is kind of a fun little thing that everybody says, ooh, what's behind there? And it's a bar. We're in the kitchen. This wall is actually designed to literally look like a blank white wall with some details, of course, of the handles. I wanted this to feel like furniture, like a built-in piece. This is the refrigerator, freezer, appliance garage, and then there's another cabinet, and then all of this is just easy access storage for pantry. This is a bar cabinet, but it's hiding the electrical for this. Forbes and Lomax, which is one of my favorite brands for light switch plates. They did this in lacquered brass, and they have toggle switches and knobs, so we did that for dimming capabilities. And then we married that finish on all of our hardware. So all of this is from O&G, beautiful hardware. And the appliance garage, which is one of my favorite things, is really fun because it extends the kitchen, which is an incredible place to do a lot of smoothies, make coffee every morning, and the toaster, but everything can literally be shut away. The hood is also plaster, similar to the fireplace, but it also mimicked the shapes of the fireplace on the other side. So this is just a simple sheetrock hood that actually matches the wall, just because I didn't want to highlight it. The actual shelf here is one of my favorite things because I don't have to open up a door to basically put up my dishes that I use every day. And so what's nice about it is my dishwasher's right here, and literally I just do this. Waterworks is one of my favorite brands. This is a burnished oiled rubbed bronze that doesn't patina as much as oil rubbed bronze. However, I still love the patina. Everything, when you put into a home, you actually have sun damage, you have wear and tear, and to me it does always feel a little odd whenever your actual plumbing finishes are staying pristine clean and they don't have any wear to them. So I always really like the idea of providing an actual finish wear well over time. It's a very timeless approach that we like to take. This bench is actually one of my favorite things. I always wanted a place to put our record player. We love vinyl as a family and really wanted this place to actually accentuate that love of our record player. And this bench was really kind of necessary because our table is so small. The idea of being able to bring this table over and provide a seat, as well as not having to bring an additional chair over. I love how this turned out. Cookbook storage, but also vinyl storage on the bottom here. And then we carried the backsplash all the way over to the wall. So it really felt like this room was one big space. We're in the living room. The living room is adjacent to the kitchen and the dining room. We wanted to basically open up the space. What we did is, you'll see here these slats on the wall, mimic the actual slats on the exterior of the house. But when you walk into the living room, we have this built-in cabinet that one of our favorite go-to millworker made for us. It's for Ukiah, and it slides just because I would say in a mid-century style form. That's very much a common detail you would see, but it also saves space. So the fireplace is actually plaster. What we did is we actually pulled it out to articulate this massing, but because we wanted to create some storage on each side, I wanted to really pull this out to make it a feature. So this is plaster that matches the Benjamin Moore white dove walls. And then on the inside, we painted it black just so that it would recede and go away. We used Benjamin Moore throughout. It's called White Dove. It's actually one of my go-to favorites because it has the warmth. It's got a little bit of yellow, more taupe into it rather than a very stark white. And in our interiors, we want to have that warm feeling. And because we had so much white walls, that white needed to be warm and not super stark and cold. So on the right side of the fireplace, I created this awesome walnut cabinet because I wanted to display my objects that I've curated over time. One of the pieces that we designed around was this Sergio Rodriguez chair. It definitely has that mid-century vibe, sets the tone. The rest of the furniture are a bit more contemporary because I like to play off that juxtaposition, but the actual sofa is from Lawson Finney. Overall, mid-century modern is pretty low and stylistically wise, but also because of the placement of the kitchen to the living room, I wanted it to feel very airy still and open and not too blocked off. Because of the large windows, I didn't want stacks of drapery, and so the shades actually are integrated into the ceiling and they just come down. And it really is only for privacy at night. We don't use them during the day, so I didn't want to emphasize that. These are actually slats that we put on the front of the building. Because I have two big rectangular large windows, I wanted to break them up but also have some privacy. Of course, I'd have loved if these were actually mobile, but to save money, we just created a stagnant system where these were actually the pieces of wood that were used around our house for sensibility and also color. So this is the landing between my kids' rooms, my daughter and my sons. Richard Lang is actually the artist behind me. He does amazing work. So this is my daughter Amelia's room. She loves horses, as you can see. This wallpaper started the concept. It's one horse heads and then it's basically mirrored 4 times and then it creates a pattern, which I appreciated. You can really zone in on an actual one piece of that pattern instead of having this like overly themed bedroom. And then your art can be transitional. One of the other things is I like to design around rugs. This Moroccan rug was actually vintage, and this really kind of jump-started the palette for this room. I think one of the fun things about this in my kids' rooms is I treated them as grown-ups, so I knew that they needed a desk in the future, so we built in a desk. They have full height cabinetry that maximizes the entire top of the storage, so we don't have headers, so you have to go into and around. So that's maximized storage, and then an adult chair with like an ottoman, so they can have a place to sit and do their homework in a different area, whatnot. To maximize the feeling of height in our house, we actually created 8-foot doors instead of typical 6'8". And there was only 5 doors in our house, so it wasn't a huge deal breaker in terms of cost, but it really makes a huge difference, in my opinion. So we're in my son's room, Everett's room. He wanted a darker room. I was a little worried about that, but I think it turned out great. We used a Benjamin Moore ice formations. The wall mural that we used behind his headboard feels cosmic. It feels like it's in outer space. They're twins, so we actually mimic the room so they wouldn't get upset or think that one was favored over the other. And so they each have a desk, just like my daughter. He has shelves, and then we also maximized storage as well in here to allow storage for up here for easy access. No dresser, and cozy rug, blue tones as well, and basically very neutral but very cozy. We're standing in my kids' bathroom, but it's also a shared guest bathroom. So I wanted it to be special, but also it's really kind of a focal point. When you walk up the stairs, you actually see this wallpaper. So Portatello painted this. It's a hand-painted wallpaper. Their artisans are amazing, but they did all of the wall. And so in order to continue to appreciate it, it actually is a fabric that's hand-painted on as well. So I wanted to basically continue that when you are in the room. So you really feel like you're surrounded by art. And we paired it with the basic tile for that texture play. Also in terms of ease of cleaning, we carry the walnut through like we did and had in the kitchen, as well as a Carrara marble, something that you would actually see most likely in a mid-century modern home. We also used Waterworks in here. This is also that living finish, burnished brass. And we did a wall mounted, since we knew 2 kids were gonna be using this space. I wanted to maximize counter space. And using a wall mounted faucet is actually one of the best ways to save space. And in there, this is also Waterworks as well. Matching set. The transom window here is actually similar to the window we put in downstairs. What I love about it is it shows the actual trees. Everywhere you are in the house, you feel like you're in the trees. It feels it's a wider space or bigger space because we did the window wall to wall. I would summarize the end result of this project as I love my house. I don't ever want to sell it because we've definitely done a great job. Overall, I'm very, very happy with the end result. And I love it when people come over and say, wow, this is incredible.
Our clients would really describe our work as a very sophisticated yet relaxed feel. I would say a lot of our projects, they're very unique. So whenever you're looking at one of our jobs, they all are completely different. We are not a design firm that uses really the same products on every job. We really try to curate something really special and unique to our clients. And sometimes that includes using pieces that our clients have to make sure it feels like their home. I'm Laura Brophy from Laura Brophy Interiors, and I'm the principal designer and creative director. Today we are in Huntington Beach, California. Huntington Beach is a really cool city. It's definitely more of a casual, cool, surf town. We love to bring really the environment into the home. The directive and the objective for this home was to create a very livable, a very carefree, yet beautifully designed space that is really the epitome of living in California, especially in Huntington Beach. Hi, welcome, come on in. When you first walk into this home, you are walking into the perfect entertainment space. This is a beautiful console. As soon as you walk in, love the texture. This is actually from our line, and it's a beautiful oak. And mushrooms, these teak mushrooms, they are a real thing these days. So beautiful books, and then this Moroccan bowl where you can throw your keys. If you also want to kick off your shoes, stick them in here. You can hide all of the things. So we like to keep our space very functional. Come into the family room. You see this beautiful sofa that we designed. It is a performance fabric, so you don't have to worry when friends are over. You spill, just blot it up. You have no problems. And this beautiful rug, very natural, sandy hues. It just grounds the space, very simple, with enough seating so you can hang out with your friends. One of the stars, I believe, of this home is this beautiful terrazzo tile from Ann Sachs, and it has this beautiful fluting. And as soon as this came out, I was dying to use this material. So we wanted to find a really special place and thought that the fireplace was the perfect spot for this beautiful fluted stone. And it's actually pieces of Italian marble, and it also creates this really unique textures. We have some shelves. We also have a little bit of storage. And another one of my favorites is this fire extinguisher, Dom Perignon. We thought this was so cool, but it's not only like just for looks, it's actually functional. So if you did have any issues, there's your fire extinguisher. We are in the dining room where you can see we have this beautiful black marble dining table, two pendants that I think are perfect for this space. They have this beautiful marble ball on it and brass that's just super interesting, and then added a little bit of texture with these chairs that are very natural. It's really important that we always make sure our clients have privacy. So we frosted this just so that you don't have to worry about people looking into your home. Then we go into this beautiful kitchen where we used a lot of different natural materials. We did a custom chandelier for this space that just fit in so perfectly. On the cabinets, you can see we used fingerless pulls. So we wanted to keep it clean and very simple. This is the encaustic tile by Kelly Wersler that is inspired by the California coastline. What better material to use for this house since it is on the California coastline? And we just really loved the movement. The backsplash here, very clean and simple. So we just ran the same quartzite up the wall, did our beautiful plastered hood, and floating shelves that are just very beautiful to display some of the client's unique pieces, books, and a beautiful art piece from Visual Contrast. Now we are standing in the pantry nook, which is really a trend that we're starting to see more and more, where we really need a space for our clients where they can stick appliances that they don't necessarily want to be out in the kitchen on display. So by creating this little nook in the back, we can hide all of those appliances. We have alcohol, we have glasses, cookbooks, and it's the perfect place so that your kitchen remains beautiful at all times. Now we're staying in the guest bedroom where we kept it really simple and beautiful. I always like to ground the room by putting a beautiful rug, and this particular one is so soft on your feet. Simple nightstands with a book for reading. We also like to put a catch-all, so for your jewelry, so we have that on this other nightstand. And under this one, we have these beautiful leather ottomans, so if you need additional seating. So now we are in one of the guest bathrooms, and this one happens to be one of my favorites. I love the materials that we use. They're very quiet, yet you have a lot of texture through the pattern. And as you can see, we use this beautiful marble, and then you walk in to the shower. This is the Savoy collection from Anne Sachs, and it's one of our favorites. It's a crisp white. We designed it this small format to be a little bit more modern. The way we stacked it, it's very simple, yet it adds the perfect texture into your bathroom. Now we are in the primary bedroom, where one of the most beautiful things is when you have a fireplace in your bedroom, and then of course the TV, so you can sit back, sit in bed, watch TV, and have a beautiful fireplace. It just always sets the mood. And with this one, I always say it's instant romance because you just hit a button and then you have the beautiful ambiance. We designed the spaces with these Lutron shades, and the collection's called Palladium. And it's one of our favorite way to treat a home because we can design it, especially when we're doing these new builds, to be housed inside of the ceiling where you don't notice them. So if you are watching TV with family or you need privacy, you can just press a button and you have that instant lighting control. Then in here, we again grounded the space with this beautiful wool rug. And then I love white sheets and white duvets. It's always crisp. And then I love to add a beautiful coverlet. In this design, we decided to keep it folded, very structured, and very simple. One of the things I feel like too many pillows is just too much at night. So in here, we have it very simple. Also in the primary bedroom, when possible, I love to use a beautiful statement light like this. It's a serene, perfect bedroom. We are standing in the primary bathroom, and I love the simplicity of this. We simply used plaster, and this is a special waterproof plaster. So it's totally safe to get wet, you don't have to worry, and it just looks like you're on a vacation in Cabo. If you look up close, you'll see that we even added in, you have a little bit of sparkle. We have a beautiful marble countertop, again, something natural and clean. And then we wanted to also bring in more fluting, kind of like taking inspo from our beautiful Anne Sachs terrazzo that we used on the fireplace. We brought that in using wood, and it's just a beautiful detail. And in here, we wanted to have a little bit of that jewelry look, so we used this brass hardware, very clean, very simple, and just adds a little bit to this space. We did larger mirrors with just one sconce in the middle to break it up, and you walk up to the bath where we did the whole tub surround in a beautiful marble like we used on the countertop in here. And then the water comes out almost like a river. It's very calming and very serene. So this is definitely the fun room, being the game room. And you've got this awesome game table that's really made for a multitude of different kinds of games. So you can hang out with your friends, play games, you have coasters, and it's just a super functional piece. And then of course you've got to have a TV, where with this one you can actually sit outside as well. Perfect place to hang out. So now we're standing at the bar, which is on the 3rd floor, and it's perfect because you don't have to run downstairs to make a drink. You can do it up here in your game room. And in this space, we used also a natural stone. We have the Blanco sink, which I love. It's a sill granite, it's black, and it's great, super durable. With our little bar faucet, you have the perfect spot to mix drinks. We also have a beverage center here and shelving that really can display your favorite alcohol. One being, we love Salento. We love that our client loves it too, so we have this beautiful tequila bottle. We are in the bathroom that is on the 3rd floor, and I absolutely fell in love with this tile that has a lot of texture in it, and I hope that you can see it because in person it is stunning. And we had that matched with the plaster that's again waterproof. And I'll go ahead and go in here. You can see again, we have a little bit of that sparkle, and it's just a very clean, feels like you're at a resort. So if you're really not big on games, that's okay. You can leave your friends in there, come out here to the rooftop deck where you have this gorgeous view of the Pacific Ocean, as well as Huntington Beach, all from up on this beautiful deck. This is pretty much where I think I would be at all times. The end result of this home is a beautiful coastal modern home that is livable, that is fresh, that's also timeless, while it's also not boring.
My clients would describe my work as a clean, modern, personal style. I am a small company, a small staff. They're hiring me because they don't want to be handed off to somebody else. They want the individual care and attention, and I want to develop that relationship with my clients so it's a long-lasting relationship. I usually have projects that go on for many years and in different phases, and that's what's so special about our firm. My name is Lexi Saine. I'm Lexi Saine Design and the founder and principal of my firm. I'm based in San Francisco. Right now we're in Menlo Park, California, and we're in a beautiful suburban neighborhood. It's just right outside of Palo Alto and San Francisco, and we're in an ADU. Menlo Park is known for beautiful weather, beautiful summers, beautiful springs, really a lot of outdoor living. And so they needed a space where they could have an indoor-outdoor living from the pool that we added on and the new landscaping we did as well with this project. Also, they wanted to have this built so that when we decide to do their main house, they have a place to be in while they're doing renovations, and they wanted someplace cozy and livable and ready to go. I collaborated with SAW Architecture, a San Francisco-based architecture firm that does projects throughout California, Hawaii, and New York. They are just wonderful to work with. They have a fresh approach on design. They look at design with an eco-friendly lens. Everything is about incorporating nature elements, green elements into the designs. So I took the plans from SAW Architecture, which were already so great, and I talked to them about what they were trying to envision for this property and what they were trying to do, and I talked to my clients about it. What's your goals? What would you like? How do you want to live in this space? And from that, I collaborated with Ann Sachs and got all the pieces together to kind of finish the space, make it livable inside, outside, pool living, to make it perfect for the clients. Hey guys, welcome to the Menlo Park Pool House. Here we are in the entry and kitchen that leads you right into the kitchen. We chose for the floor tiles the Anzac Basilio and Oyster. The true reason I chose this tile specifically is I love the large size of the format. It emulates the concrete outside in a large format. It's a 24 by 24. It looks like stone, but it is porcelain and it's very durable, easy to clean, easy to maintain, will look great forever, even when dirty. In the kitchen, we did a beautiful dark cabinet wall with the contrast white oak and black hardware and white countertops with the waterfall edge detail to give this kitchen kind of a little bit more vavoom, but still feels very open and beautiful. The tile backsplash is Terracotta by Ann Sachs. It's the Iris collection in white. And what I love about this tile is that it has the terracotta comes out into the glaze. So the colors kind of are a little bit different on each tile, but it looks very natural, it's handmade, it's beautiful, and it just kind of gives it a little bit of softness into this very modern space and gives it a little unique character. As we walk out of the kitchen, we walk right into the open concept living room that opens right into the pool area. We chose easy living, simple couch that folds out into a sleeper sofa for guests and overflow. Cozy stools when people are entertaining in the kitchen, and have this whole space is basically allows anyone in the living room, in the kitchen, and the outside all to mingle all at once without feeling constrained to one spot. When designing a small space, I have two recommendations. One, start with something that you love. Start with an element like a tile or a piece of furniture and design the whole space around that so you don't feel overwhelmed. Second, don't go too small with the details. Pick elements that are large tile, large cabinetry, large colors, in the sense that that will help make the whole space larger and not feel tight. As we move out of the living room, we find ourselves going towards the bathroom. So the feel in this bathroom was to make it feel very open and exciting, but not bland. I wanted to mix materials and show the client how easy it is to have a flow of different materials and textures. Here in the bathroom, I chose the Ann Sachs tile in Brûlée. And what I love about this tile is it has so much character and expression. It doesn't feel dated, it feels modern and clean, and it pairs beautifully with the Ann Sachs Savoy collection that we added to the vanity wall. This is the Savoy ribbed in lantern, and I love this tile because it adds so much texture and dimension to it. I love that contrast of the light floor with the dark wall and the dark light fixtures and mirror. And then on the shower side, we picked the Savoy tiles in lantern. We have a penny tile in lantern and the large stack tile in lantern, also all from Savoy collection, which is a ceramic tile that comes from Japan. It's a beautiful collection. It's super high-end quality, but it's very affordable and it's very usable in different applications. It just kind of gives the bathroom a little bit more emphasis on being important in the space and not just an afterthought. It gives the space and the client feeling like this was just as important as designing the kitchen or the exterior or everything else, and it feels luxurious. And the final room that we're gonna look at is our guest room. And what is great about this space is that we designed it so that the space can be a flex space as well. This is actually a Murphy bed that goes up, but when we have guests, the bed goes down and is very livable with lots of storage. The flooring in here looks like hardwood floors, but it's actually tile. It's Ann Sachs platform tile. And it's one of my favorite wood tiles to use because it just looks so natural and clean. It's easy to maintain. It's also a porcelain tile, so once you install it and you seal it, you're done. You have nothing to worry about, nothing to worry about warping or anything like that, which is also a really important thing that I wanted to incorporate in a pool house. We don't know who's gonna be drying off their feet by the time they get to this bedroom space, so we didn't want to have a hardwood floor that would potentially warp under lots of wet footprints. And we needed something that was going to be beautiful
and withstand the test of time of a wet environment. And you don't want to make your space cookie cutter house. You don't want it to make it look like a developer just threw in something. You want it to make it your own. When designing your own home, I think it's really important to be brave in the sense that it's okay to mix materials. It's okay to change the design a little bit. It doesn't have to be, each space has to be like the certain way. It's more interesting to give them a little bit of something on different materials, a different, different paint color, different style. That's what makes design more interesting. So this is a way to give yourself your personality in your space.
I would summarize the end result of this project as a collaborative success between myself, the architects, and the client. It truly was a team effort, and I think we delivered a finished product that not only the client loved aesthetically and functionally, but it hit all my marks personally, in that I want to deliver a finished project to my clients that is not only beautiful, but it needs to be durable, it needs to be unique to them, and it needs to stand the test of time. And I think we did that with this project.
People, I think, hire me because they know my design is always timeless, classic. I don't follow trend. In fact, I don't know what the trends are. When somebody award me with a project and design, I'm beyond grateful, and my job is to deliver what they ask and beyond. I want the house to look even more immaculate than when we entered. Do projects from a historical house to ground up from the land with no water, no electricity. We try to not just solve beauty, but practicality and lifestyle, as well as living to make a house a space livable for the person or the family who live there. I'm Jonathan Rachman, principal designer of Jonathan Rachman Design. My firm is based in San Francisco, but our projects are all over the country, as well as in Europe, Jakarta, Singapore, and Bali. Today we're in San Francisco, California, and specifically we're in the Haight-Ashbury neighborhood. I think this is one of the most amazing projects that I've done in San Francisco, but just overall in my career. And this is the last project that made it into my first monograph, currently classic. I was given literally complete freedom to express myself for them, what I read of them, and interpret it into their style and interior. About a 5,000 square feet with a courtyard and parking, which is super rare in San Francisco. It's hard to find a house like this. They asked me to create a home for them that represent who they are. They love colors, they love patterns, and that makes everything a lot easier. It was a dated house. So the directive is to bring this house into 2023 in design, in interior, but also in comfort and practicality. This is a family that knows how to have fun, and I love them for that, and they allow me to express that fun into their design. As we approach the facade, you'll see a traditional San Franciscan Edwardian. This house, I believe, was built in 1906 after the earthquake, and it's been dissected as a three-part home that's later on combined again. Welcome to the living room. That's more is never enough, or a maximalism living room. The first thing that I always like to point out is the Degournay wallpaper right there. The pattern is from Yves Saint Laurent original, but it is hand painted and hand embroidered. If you look at really close, you'll see it's actually three-dimensional. It is absolutely beautiful, and we do it in a colorway that's very, very dramatic and moody, but very, very elegant. The original millwork of this room, we just basically preserve them by painting them with neutral color in eggshell finish. But what I want to highlight also is the gorgeousness of the layers of the millwork, and we gilded it with a gold leaf done by Julie Stone. This Baltic antique chandelier was once resided in one of the houses that's designed by Julia Morgan with this crystal rocks. And the Pasiman tree here, I believe this is from Ules. So beautiful. Window treatment that complements the wallpaper. This dining room is absolutely stunning and bold. Maybe it's not for everyone, but it is for the owners as well as for me. To address that, we just high gloss in 4 layers of Benjamin Moore black with a sculptural dining table from Coquette and a height geometrical table in midnight blue, French Louis Philippe chairs that's been reupholstered in rich mohair with contrast linen on the back. But on this side, if you see, I also use beautiful embroidered trim. I love the contrast of black and white and gold, and the China display is original, but if you pay attention to the jeweled hardware, it is absolutely beautiful. Antique Thai ceremonial. And I love this doggy. Isn't he so elegant? And I commissioned a photographer to do this art, and we customized it with lucite to make it more modern. Chandelier that's custom made by Lex Spot. He's a product designer in the Netherlands. And there's one source of light, and the light is carried throughout the branch called the Tree of Life. Originally, it was installed, the original one, in a castle in Austria that has never been electrified. The owners love to entertain, love their cocktails. And as you see, I have accessorized this bar to accommodate their liquor collection. But what I also want to point out is my dear, dear friend, Margot Larkin, who is an artist who hand paints on glasses. Welcome to what used to be the breakfast nook. But who wants a breakfast nook if you could have a cocktail lounge and bar? Embroidered velvet pattern. To me, they look like Greek fret, but we complement the coloring or the color scheme with the entire room and the kitchen. And the rug is by Carl Bunting in collaboration with Douglas Friedman. We found this Parisian cigar chairs. Typically we find them on a flea market, but we could not travel during the pandemic, so we find them on Cherish. Custom, this is my design of the ottoman, of course, with Ule's Pasiman tree. And this banquette here, if you want to, you could actually split this into 2 for a more flexible sitting, however you want it. But what I love also about this room is the original built-in cabinetry that we converted not only for their bar supplies and collection of books and vintage and sculptures. I have a friend who owns a company, Modern Metal. We cover this with a custom laser cut radiator cover, and it still lets the heat out through the pattern. But this pattern also complements Holland and Sherry window treatment, the leading edge. Come to the kitchen. How much do you love this bold kitchen? Not everybody can deal with this color every day, but our clients love it and I love it. This island is actually a vintage piece that has been turned into an island with waterwork copper finish faucet with copper finish sink, and we complement that with these ledges so they can put their coffee, or the kids can draw, or their just stuff that you can put while you are sitting on the stool. The countertop is onyx. La Cornue range, we highlight the hood by gilding it and with the old and vintage antique collections that I've found and customized for this house. Welcome to the most opulent wine cellar. This used to be a family room, and they want to host about 3,000, if not more, wine from all over the world that they collect. And I help them with customizing this wine cellar From the cabinetry to all the antiques, accessories that I found, I especially want to point out this caryatid that I found in Spain also, but they're from the 17th century. And if you come here into the backyard, look how beautiful the bronze sculpture that I also found for this property, and all the lattice work also. Backlit onyx, copper top, so the kitchen and the wine cellar and the cocktail lounge all talk to each other. And this ladder that just slides so easily. And everything is all customized and embroidered down to the linen. Welcome, chic and eclectic pattern room here. As you see, I love the gournay, and this is hand painted, hand embroidered, and hand sequenced. You see all the beads. Love finding this Art Deco oval mirror that actually complements the wallpaper, the color. It's actually salmon, literally. This belongs to the client throughout their travel. It's a Moroccan tabletop that we converted as an art, and I complement that with the shape of the lambrequin of the window treatment. I love using onyx for a countertop. In this case, it's a pink translucent onyx. I think it's so luxe. This vanity was actually existing when I arrived here. I just enhanced it with the gilding. Come on up to the second floor where the living quarter is. And this pattern on pattern on pattern and colors continue. The maximalism theme continue in this house. I want you to look at all the wallpapers too. The Greek key, the balustrades, the handrail. And now come here and check out this runner going up. Also stark carpet, but this is a Missoni line. The clients love it. I love it. Check out this collision of patterns. I think it works out. And this used to be a guest room that we converted into a nursery. I love to pair it with antique crystal chandelier that has complementary colors in the crystals. And of course, the rug is by Stark Carpet, and I love the color. It has a fun animal prints, but colors that complement the whole scheme. The Jack and Jill bathroom, so fun, covered in Manuel Canova's The Indian Scenery. That colorway complements what we've done with this custom vanity. Look at the hardware, it's also seamlessly with the pink onyx. And you know, a lot of show kind of really clean up everything, but I want this to be a real life experience, so you get to see how this has turned out to be a baby or a toddler bath. Look at one. This is real life. So we didn't clean this up on purpose, and you get to see what's going on here. And check out this trick that we did. So we love antiques. It's a perfect bathroom with an amazing wallpaper. We don't want to do your typical medicine cabinet over the vanity, and you see all the ugly metals and modern, industrial looking. Instead, what we did is this antique Louis Philippe mirror that's painted and gilded with the beading, beautiful. The patina is just naturally happens throughout the centuries. And when you open this, guess what? We have engineered this with the contractor, and that is an empty medicine cabinet that's ready to be used. Oh, may I just point out also that every shade gets a trim. Come on in. This is their primary suite in the bedroom. She loves green, and so do I. And when I told you there are 150 shades of green here, I'm not lying. Let's just start with the rug on the herringbone or chevron pattern by Stark, again, custom. And the headboard is antique, upholstered with chartreuse, neon green throw. And the artichokes of this cushion, decorative cushion, complements the original artichoke fire surround. I love this room of how we layered it, and it satisfies the client's love of green. And check out this over-the-top shade. Love green on green, including the floral arrangements. I found this vintage tufted ottoman or pouf that I reupholstered. And look at this gorgeous little green apples trim that also goes on the window treatment. And of course, who doesn't love a custom Ules high back? Alrighty, see, gorgeous. Welcome to one of the most opulent bathrooms we've designed. Custom tiles that we designed and made by Da Vinci marbles. This is actually a type of semi-stone, precious stone, and we frame it with rivets. Look at how thick this is. And if you pay attention to the tile pattern, there is the screen that's cut, laser cut the same way. This tub, all the plumbing fixtures are from Waterworks, but I love the double shower head and the rain head in the middle to share for the husband and wife. And this Irish green marble. The wall is washed by lighting, and also check out the vintage pendant. That is a Moroccan theme, yeah. We actually custom painted this with gold paint, the tub. Let's go up to the top floor, and this is one of my favorite rooms. This room could have been a challenge or a disaster if you don't do it correctly. If you notice, the reflective ceiling plan and the ceiling pitches are so all over. They each have different pitch, different angles, if you notice. How do we fix that? I think I want to use that instead to our benefit, and creating a all-around wallpapered room, including the ceiling and the wall, everywhere in one monochromatic, in this case, two different color, blue and white. And again, to continue the theme with chinoiserie in this house, we created a lambrequin with the white and white trim over the blue that complements the wallpaper. Then in Duchess, I believe, this custom sconces as well as chandelier, and yes, one more Greeky that we did a cutout shape along the wall and the built-in, while continuing the black and blue theme chinoiserie with all the cachepot. I also love to pop in some colors, in this case the coral color. And if you come closer here, you will see the chair and down to the coral hand-painted wine glass by Margot Larkin. She's my favorite. This is a guest room, a guest quarter that doubles as Mrs. Office or her office, but also this guest room has a guest room, which if you, a couple stay here, they have a kid with them, they have their kid's guest room right here. Check this out. Ta-da! And decorated in the same way, complementing each other, using the same fabric, but here we do a different wallpaper, a bold blue and white stripe, and we have it painted all the way to the ceiling, so it has that tinted effect, and it has all the trims with nail heads. I would summarize the end result as it's a narcissistic statement most probably, but it's mind-blowing. It is a case of more is never enough. It's a case of pattern over texture over color. It's a collision of all of those, but in the end, it is one gorgeous, cohesive masterpiece. It's beautiful to me and it's beautiful to the owners. That's all I care about.
I think my clients would describe my work as unpredictable. I have an intimacy with not only the client, but also the designer. And there's really no other point of hiring a decorative artist unless you can do something that you can't find on the market. A decorative painter is somebody who does custom finishes on walls. A lot of times we do work on canvas and then have it installed on the wall, but in general, you're going right onto the wall. A lot of people hire us for a lot of different reasons, and people are looking for something totally original and unique, and we're able to deliver that product. My name is Caroline Lizarraga. I'm a decorative artist, and I have a company called Caroline Lizarraga Decorative Painting. We are based in San Francisco, California, but we travel all over the world. We're on the road pretty much every month working on projects. Today we are at my house in Oakland. A lot of people move to Oakland from the tech in San Francisco, a lot of artists. I got really lucky. My mentor called me one day. He was retiring and he said to me, I heard that you're looking for a house. I just have this weird feeling that you would love my house. And we came to this house and it was absolutely amazing, and we were very lucky. He sold it to us off the market. There's a real creative juice happening in Oakland. We just love it. The house was all peach when we purchased it, and it was very neutral. And I am the opposite of neutral, I would say. So I decided that I wasn't gonna do anything to the house for a while because we just had a lot of things going on. And 3 days into it, I was painting my son's room. In a week, I think I had like 6 rooms already started being painted. So couldn't sit still. For me, my goal was to honor the history of the house. It is an older house. It's from the 30s. I really didn't have any desire to like rip it up and turn it into some modern space. Something that I really love to do is to transport you. The other goal, even though my husband doesn't agree with this, was to not make it overly feminine. I think it's very well balanced, personally. This is my house. As you can see, it's all white on the outside. My friends like to refer to it as the mini embassy, and I bet you think the inside is all white, but you'll be quite surprised when you walk inside. Welcome to my entry. There's a lot of things happening to the left, the right, up above, straight across, but we'll start with one of my favorite things, which is a recycled bike chain chandelier from an amazing artist in Los Angeles that I've always loved her works. Then you head over here and my latest addition to the house, which are our ostrich hedge sconces, and a custom table we had made from the extra marble we purchased for the bathroom. If anyone ever asked me what my favorite color, I would have to say it's green. So this is my homage to green. Every possible green color is in this room. And then the new center of the room is the hand-painted malachite fireplace. The thing that we love about this room is it acts also as the gateway to our outside, which is over here. So during the summer, we just keep the French doors open. My daughter plays out there. My husband can be working in here. It's just a great, very cozy, flexible room. The thing about the living room that we love so much is that we have a big deck off of this room. And during the summer, we literally just open the doors and we're just in and out constantly. This is my dining room. It has a lot of special things to me in here. I gold leaf the ceiling and I'm letting it naturally oxidize over time, so it looks like it was always here. My husband bought me this chandelier. He found it in a palazzo in Rome. It's a Murano hand-blown chandelier that I love for the space. And we hand-painted the walls in a moody forest. I wanted to take it back a little bit to Italy. My husband's from there. We spent a lot of time there. So it's a little bit of a fantasy about Italy. It's not exact, but it is to create quite a mood in the space. And that area over there is really my husband's area. It's the whiskey and espresso bar area that he basically lives at. I love peacocks. Taxidermy. The white peacock that's in my dining room is named Higgins after Henry Higgins for the Audrey Hepburn movie. I'm not allowed to bring any more taxidermy in the house, but I will tell you, because a lot of people have an issue with taxidermy, these were not animals that were killed for anything. They died naturally, and I was able to get them from the owners. I work with the farm who raised them, and they are my treasures, and my daughter constantly is playing with them and talking to them. I particularly love smaller spaces because I love intimacy. So my dining room is a little smaller. It's very close to the kitchen. I am really into cooking. So it's really easy for me to come in and out and be serving my guests. The point of the space is to feel transformed and to feel as if you're in another time era, another country even. And I think that the room does that because it is a little smaller. It has an intimate quality in that way. For someone who is thinking about doing decorative painting, I always suggest the dining room and the powder room are actually a great place to start, because usually you're trying to create a different atmosphere in those rooms, and maybe a little moodier than the rest of your house. You can take a little bit more of a risk in those spaces. And so I think it's a good place to start. I also think with working with a decorative artist, the sky is the limit. I mean, that's why you hire a decorative artist. Now we're in, I call it a little jewel box room. It's a kitchen nook. I just love this space because we can see our beautiful 85-year-old magnolia tree from here. And it is a small room, and I just decided to go for it in here. And one of the things I think is really important in a home is to have a lot of different levels of balance. And when I say that, obviously I'm a decorative painter, so there's going to be a lot of painting in there. But in this case, I decided to do a wallpaper because I think it adds to the juxtaposition of the house. And being that my husband is from Italy, we have a great love for all Italian craft, and one of them being Fornasetti. So the walls are the Fornasetti book walls that I've always been in love with. And the ceiling is a Venetian plaster. We have a bunch of things that we've gotten in Puglia from our trips in Italy. It's like a little area for my daughter to play while I'm cooking in the kitchen next door. This is my kitchen where I spend most of my time at my house, because if I wasn't a painter, I would definitely be a chef. I love to cook. Space is pretty neutral, but of course I have a bunch of treasures throughout the kitchen. But we do spend a lot of time in here cooking, and where my daughter, I'm teaching her how to bake in here right now. One of the things that I decided to do in this house is to not put a stair runner on the stairs. I think that it's fun and unexpected, and because my stairs are the first thing you basically see when you walk in the house, I wanted something for you to grab onto. And this is a poem from Dante about true love. And if anyone ever wants to paint stairs, it's actually not that hard to do and incredibly effective. So all you need to do, in my case, I just did the risers. And so I took a measurement of what the words, the height needed to be, and I made a stencil, and I transferred the stencil onto the risers, and then I hand paint it in from there. So it's a great tip for people who want to do something different in their house. My husband and I, when we first met, we were in Amsterdam together, and I saw these incredible monkey lights, and every day we would walk by these monkey lights in Amsterdam, and I would say, I think I'm just gonna buy them a seat. I have to get these home. And he was like, no, you're not getting those. And when I got home, he had already purchased them, and they were sitting at my door when I arrived back in the United States. So we have a series of wild monkeys taking you up the stairs. So right off the bat, it's just something fun. It makes you smile. I don't take my interiors super serious. I want you to have a good time and feel free to be yourself. And we've also created our little family wall here. These are all photos of our travels together and adventures. We travel a lot, so I'm constantly adding to this wall. And my goal is to cover every square inch of the space. My son also is a photographer, so I have some of his pictures that he's taken over the years as well, and just a growing little wall of friends and family. Now we're upstairs on what we call our landing, and we created a little moment. I put a sofa up here. We actually spend a lot of time sitting up here reading. We have our monkey lights, we have our shell chandelier, and of course, again, back to my favorite Fornasetti cloud wallpaper on the ceiling to draw your eyes up. One of the things I like to do in my house is to ground the space with lighting and chandeliers. A lot of times I put them in front of windows. I live in an area where I have a lot of neighbors and I don't need to see their house, so it acts as one thing, a functionality, which is blocking some things, but also it makes you stop and you know that you're having a moment in the space. My daughter was born during COVID, and so a lot of the inspiration of this room was not being able to travel. So I did the walls as a little homage to our trips all over the world. When I originally bought this house, this room was actually a closet. So the space is very, very small in my daughter's room. So in that case, it became down all to storage. So I designed a custom built-in, and mostly everything in this room also acts as some sort of storage. With the cabinetry, the built-ins, I even have a step stool with stacking books. It's all about being able to move things so she feels cozy, but it also looks good if you need to have people come and see the space. These lights here are from a friend of mine, Wendy Shan. She's a knot artist showing all over the world. I lacquered the ceilings, and my friend Malia Landis made the beautiful porcelain bugs that go throughout the room. And I think that's also another trick for small spaces is, again, like pulling your eye up and out. So I did a lighter color in here. That's a little bit similar to the color of like a purpley gray hazy day. So your eye draws up and out into the sky. Now we're in my son's room, and my son just went off to college and apparently is not coming home. So he did give me the green light to change his room. So previously his room was a lacquer graffiti wall, very dark, very moody, and I just wanted to change things up a bit. So I now changed the walls to be a crocodile plaster and sort of like a Cabernet color. And the ceiling, again, is plastered, but I wanted to go with the shape of the ceiling, so I striped it so it followed the correct shape to carry your eye around the room. And had a new bed made, of course, but we did keep his neon lighting, and I acquired an amazing Gothic pagoda piece from a client of mine, and then the last piece that I got at a vintage store is a barber chair that apparently will be leaving with my son, he has told me. This is my bedroom. I love the space, I love color, I love drama, I love creating a mood. The walls, I usually work a lot with Benjamin Moore paint. This particular color I love, Smoke Embers, is the base color, and then I go over it with lacquer, silver leaf, gold leaf, and I let the products like drip down to create this moody effect. We carpeted our entire upstairs for many reasons. Also having a baby, it's just super helpful. It's in this stark antelope carpet. And then here are my Italian silk chandeliers that, again, my trick of not wanting to see my neighbors, so I threw 2 pendants over my windows so it could block the view a little bit. We also I designed a floating cabinet with a scallop detail that I silver leafed and did like a brass painting on. And then I have my favorite artist, Michael Mapes, who did a piece for us for when my husband and I got married. We have a primary bathroom, and that is one of the things that we remodeled when we moved into the house. And because we have a smaller space, this sort of had to be an everything bathroom. So we did rip out a tub, and I decided to do black Tadillac plaster, which, if you're not familiar with Tadillac plaster, it's a waterproof plaster that comes from Morocco, and it really ages just super beautifully. And I did every wall, the ceiling, everything in there is very dark. And my husband was super concerned, and I kept telling him, you're going to love this space when it's done, because I think there's an illusion about creating darker spaces that you feel enclosed, but actually what happens is you're not seeing all of the lines. So if I had a white ceiling in there, you would realize how small the space really is, but because we have black everywhere, it makes more of an infinite space. We did a beautiful viola marble that waterfalls down off of the vanity and into the shower. We have a piece from Taylor Kibbe, who is an amazing porcelain artist. I have door knockers from Morocco that hold our towels. I painted the vanity to look like, parts of it to look like bronze, and beautiful tile, mosaic tile from Italy that we got from Ann Sachs. Everything that you see in my house, I can tell you a story behind. I love my house. I come home from a long day of work and I walk in and I just take an amazing breath and feel so grateful to be here. I just see like beautiful memories. There's something about my house, I just feel very connected to it. And I think my family does as well, which was my ultimate goal for this space.
One of the reasons that people come to us as a design firm is because we really focus on comfort. But comfort is such an important component of design. So from my perspective, the most beautiful room in the world is not really successful if it's not, first and foremost, really comfortable. I think others describe our work as being timeless, classic, colorful, and a little bit grand. You know, I think it's all about theatrical, and a space that people come away sort of saying, wow, did you see that house? I'm Timothy Corrigan, and I'm the head of Timothy Corrigan, Inc. We have offices in Los Angeles and Paris, and we're currently working in 7 different countries and 13 states here across America. Today we're in a house in Los Angeles in the Hollywood Hills. It's a wonderful house from 1929 that actually had great bones, but absolutely was devoid of any architectural detailing. And so our challenge was really how to put that architectural detailing back into a house that should have had it in the first place. The requirements that the client's given us was it's really comfortable to use on a day-to-day basis, but is also equally effective as a party house because they do a lot of charitable events here. And so it really had to function both as a house for day-to-day use as well as one that really worked on a broader social scale. The directive from the client when we first started this project was basically how to give this house character. So we added all the details that you're going to see. We're in Los Angeles in the Hollywood Hills, just above Sunset Strip. We've got this beautiful Hollywood Regency house that I'm so excited to show you today. So come on, let's go. Here we are in the entry hall of the house, and this room had absolutely no detailing. So this beautiful arch that you see here, the crown molding, and the black and white marble floor were all added later to give it some visual interest. I think the most interesting element in this room was the choice of the color yellow. The walls here are Benjamin Moore Hawthorne yellow to give that bright, light, sunny feeling. This room does not have a lot of natural light. It's got one door which faces to the west, everything else faces to the north. So I chose yellow for the walls because yellow makes the room feel brighter and happier, and it sort of says, welcome to this house. Let's go into the living room because there's a lot for you to see here. This was just a plain box. There was no architectural detailing. So the beautiful plasterwork ceiling was added. All the paneling on the walls was added. This fireplace was added. And I designed this fireplace mantle based on a chateau in France. Plasterwork was very popular in houses throughout from the 17th, 18th, 19th, even the 20th century. So it was very common to have beautiful plasterwork ceilings in 20th century houses. You can see this ceiling was actually added, but it makes the house feel so much more special. I often say that the ceiling is the fifth wall in the room. It's the room that you often forget about, and it's the one you should add that little bit of extra to, whether it's through plasterwork or paint detailing or wallpaper. This doorway was not here originally, and that's the doorway which now opens up onto the library. So it connects those spaces and makes that room feel like an extension to this room. So the rug is an oriental rug. I purposely chose one that was very large and somewhat architectural because I wanted it to mimic the ceiling. The furniture is all about comfort. Deep custom upholstery where you sit down and you sink in and you sort of say, relax, I want to spend time in this room. So I want to take you into the library. Again, this room you could not access before from these doors. There are now pocket doors, so you can close it off or you can open it up. The house used to stop right here. We extended it and created this other additional part which brings in the light with the bay window, and all of the architectural detailing of the beautiful pine paneling makes it feel like a room that's really cozy and you want to hang out. Throughout the house, there's a mixture of antiques and contemporary furniture from all different periods because it gives that feeling that it evolved over time and it didn't just all come out of a showroom box. We've all been in rooms where it has that feeling of look but don't touch. And a family room should be the room where you actually want to feel the most comfortable to hang out. And so I purposely used outdoor fabrics here in this room so you don't have to worry about spilling. You don't have to worry about the dogs getting up on the furniture. And I think that's one of the key elements of comfortable living. Let's head into the dining room. Here, I created the impact with the gold leaf ceiling. It just gives that beautiful glimmer at night when you've got candlelight reflected off the ceiling, but added this plasterwork ceiling motif, which gives a lot of impact as well. And you can see how it's mirrored on the carpet where you've got that sort of sunburst coming down on the carpet. This carpet outdoor, so you don't have to worry about spilling red wine. All those spills of daily life can easily be addressed and cleaned. The room has got a mixture of this beautiful antique table with these mid-century chairs, and it's a mixture of different elements in the room that make it really feel glamorous and elegant. It's a room you want to have a dinner party in. I want to take you into really one of the fun sort of little jewel box rooms. It's this breakfast room, which we actually created and made octagonal, and it has this feeling of you're being inside and outside at the same time because of this beautiful hand-printed wallpaper from Zuber in France, which has a garden theme. So you've got this feeling that you are sitting in the middle of a garden while you're having breakfast. We reinforced the fact that this is an octagonal room by having an octagonal breakfast table, an octagonal rug, and even the ceiling medallion is octagonal shaped. So it's this reinforcement of architectural elements that makes the room feel comfortable. And here we are in the kitchen, and the client wanted to maintain the original footprint of the house. So you can see it's sort of a long galley kitchen, but it leads on to a butler's pantry here, and the butler's pantry goes directly to the dining room beyond. The kitchen is really bright and useful. It's not a big kitchen, but it's very practical, and it's all white and clean. In every house, there are a couple of rooms where you really want to go for some extra wow. And a powder room is one of those places because you're going to not spend that much time in it. We created a powder room with this incredible hand-printed wallpaper from Paris. It's from the 1920s, and it's got that Art Deco feeling with these wonderful parrots, and the ceiling is gold leaf as well. We paired that with this high lacquer black, which really goes for some extra impact as well. And here we are in the beautiful backyard, and you can see there are so many wonderful elements to enjoy, whether it's the gazebo, the swimming pool, the guest house ADU, and you can see this beautiful addition we just added, which shows that beautiful gable, the cupola, and the 18th century weather vane on top. One of my favorite things that we added here in the backyard is the trellis lattice work that was added to the walls of the structure and on the walls of the garden. What it does is it actually adds that extra architectural element, that extra layering that makes the space feel that much more special. Here we're in what is the ADU, or the additional dwelling unit, which was just recently added. We actually put it over the garage, and we were planning just to put a second floor on until we determined that we actually had to tear down the entire garage and rebuild it just to add the second floor. The client uses this just sort of as a wonderful outdoor party room. It's right off the pool and lets people can come up in their wetsuits because, again, all this fabric is outdoor fabric, so you can sit on it without worrying about leaving stains. And one of my other favorite elements in this ADU is the wonderful bathroom. So I just want to share these details in here. Look at this wonderful wall panel. This is all made out of a beautiful epoxy resin. It's an artist from Europe. And it has that wonderful impact that makes it feel like you're actually in the swimming pool right next door. So let's go upstairs, and you can see the railing on this is actually one of the only architectural elements in the house. The walls here are Benjamin Moore Hawthorne yellow to give that bright, light, sunny feeling. Benjamin Moore is my very favorite brand. I use them in projects all around the world. They've just actually been introduced into Europe, and so I'm thrilled. I love Benjamin Moore because not only do they have such a great range of colors, but more importantly, the performance that they have of their product. They actually have a product called Scuffex, which is one that is used in areas with heavy traffic. And I figure might as well use it everywhere in the house because you want it to be as practical and cleanable as possible. Here in the entrance hall, we wanted to bring your eyes up, so we added this double lantern, which is a wonderful way to give the sense of drama and height to a room. This is the guest bedroom, and bright orange and bright cobalt blue is not a color combination you usually expect to see together. It creates the sense of, ooh, that's an amazing experience. I wanted the bathroom to feel like it was really, really special experience as well. So let's go in, and you'll see all the walls in this room are incredible, beautiful marble with inlaid mirror. And it's that rich sense of detailing in this house. Here we are in the master bedroom. And I wanted the master bedroom to feel particularly cozy. And one of the best ways to do that is by upholstering the walls of the room. So you can see this is a beautiful outdoor fabric, so you don't need to worry about the sun fading it. But what it does is it gives that extra layer of cocooning and making the room feel that much more special. The carpet here is by Stark, and I selected it because it has this very sort of clean, masculine, architectural feeling. And I didn't want something that was going to be too busy for this room, which is meant to feel very soothing and calm. One of the things that I really love doing is mixing design elements from different periods. So you can see here this beautiful 18th century English desk, which is then paired with this very contemporary 20th century stainless steel chair. It's the combination of those two elements that make you appreciate each one on its own because of the way they contrast each other. Let's go into the master bathroom, and it is a really spectacular space. We start out here with the silk moire on the walls. You can see this is all beautiful marble paneling inset with beautiful église mirror. Again, église is glass that's painted on the reverse side and then mirrored to give that a really glimmering effect. One of the elements of a luxurious bathroom that people often forget about are the actual bath fixtures themselves. You can see here, this is a special faucet and sink set that I designed for THG Paris, and it's got this inlaid white marble and the beautiful sink with the inlaid mother of pearl. No master bath is really complete without an incredible bathtub. So we wanted to create a really beautiful bathtub niche here. So we've got a big bathtub, you've got a television, and you've got this beautiful mirrored detail that reflects the garden outside. You can see here, we created this paneled room with the inset crystal quartz, the white thassos, and then the hand-painted mirror. All of it together creates this space which is luxurious, indulgent, and says, wow, that's where I want to spend some time. Here we are in the shower of the master bathroom. We continued the marble paneling throughout the shower, but then I added these mirrored panels that reflect the windows outside. And what we did was to make sure that the mirrors don't steam up during the shower, was added heated panels behind the mirror so they stay crystal clear throughout your shower. I'd like to take you into the master closet. We just finished it, so we haven't even been able to move the client's clothes into it yet. So you're gonna get a sneak peek. Come on in. When the client said that he wanted to have one of the best closets in all of Los Angeles, I thought we had to really make it spectacular and over the top. So you can see the barrel vaulted ceiling with the skylight, this wonderful chandelier with the crystals, and then this beautiful island all made out of zebra wood with inlaid steel and the leather bound top. It really makes for a really luxurious room. The end result of this project is a continual revealing of interesting details, of interesting treats, where you look and say, oh my gosh, I didn't ever notice that detail before. So it's that idea of continuing to reveal beauty and surprises.
Hire Susie Novack Interiors because we really emphasize style. Style is confidence. It makes people feel good. It inspires. But we're also very much about livability and livable luxury and having a beautiful home that you don't have to worry about because you have 3 kids, because you have 2 dogs, because your crazy uncle's coming over and he's gonna spill wine everywhere. Come into a beautiful space and live in it. And that's why people hire us. My name is Susie Novack of Susie Novack Interiors, and we are based in Oakland, California. Today we are in Trestle Glen, Oakland. It was definitely a fixer-upper. There was some really funky 1960s renovations that happened in the kitchen. The upstairs was actually an attic space. It was a very small stairwell that took you up to the attic space, and it was all 60s wood paneling. The goal here was to preserve all the good, old, beautiful elements like the windows and the fireplace and the archways. The rest was really to maximize square footage and make the house more functional. Come on in. You have a jewel box wow moment with gorgeous wallpaper, light fixtures, and a custom built-in to house shoes. Entryways are very important, and we design our entryways for our clients all the time. Welcome to our dining room. This room was quite a design challenge. So when we moved in, it had these gorgeous divided light windows, divided light French door set that brings you into the room, and parquet floors. We know we wanted to keep that. Otherwise, it was an extremely dark space. You don't get a lot of daylight into these windows. So we had the design challenge of how to bring light into this room. There was only one flush mount. So immediately we added 3 pendants rather than the flush mount, and that added a little more light. We decided to go even further by adding 4 mini flush mounts by Circle Lighting. We also actually built in this wainscoting. This did not exist in the room when we bought the house. Then we painted the ceiling white, so you get that brighter, bigger room feel. Here's our formal living room. The kids are in here all the time. It's more formal because we don't have a TV in this space. It's really for listening to music, playing games on the carpet, talking, and drinking too much wine on Saturday night. We specifically designed it to be elevated and very kid-friendly. The rug is stark carpet. It's a nylon, it's dark. You can hide a multitude of sins in it. We always design with performance fabrics, but there's something about a dark fabric or rug where it's just worry-free. You don't have to jump up and run and clean it up every time something happens. This house, given its age, was all plaster walls when we moved in. And unfortunately during construction, we took out part of it, but this room still has the plaster. And whenever you can, I encourage preserving it. It just absorbs sound and it keeps noise from traveling to other parts of the house. Whereas with everything drywall, you can drop a pin and you can hear it all the way upstairs. The kitchen was really a room that was a guilt-free demo. It was a 1960s linoleum, drawers that literally fell out of the cabinet the second you opened them. We opened it up, we added light with French doors and additional windows, took out a bedroom. It's very open. We decided to create an island that has more of a farmhouse table feel than a traditional storage island. We're right off the kitchen. This is the heart of the home. It's our family room as well, and this is really where we live in this house. This originally started out as a breakfast nook, and it's more primarily a kind of arts and crafts area for our kids. This is kind of where the crafts live that we don't want them to have too much access to, like paint and glue. And then our printer, which is a pull-out, which makes it really easy to access. Things are labeled and organized in a way where they can get their own supplies and then put them back after they're done using them. Honestly, my kids use this area every single day. And then on the other side is a beverage fridge. We are putting beverage fridges in pretty much every single project that we're working on. They're perfect for entertaining. Come on outside. I want to show you our backyard space. We did a ton of work on our exterior. We're really proud of it. We use it all the time. We decided to go with turf, and I highly recommend it. It really feels like an exterior living room. Totally, completely low maintenance. The kids love it, and it's highly practical. What's great about this space is you have zones. So you have your play area for your kiddos, and then all the adults are right there hanging out and talking. The sun really beats down on us, and it's very bright and it's very hot in the middle of the day. So in order to make this space that you want to hang out in, we really needed a pergola. So we designed a pergola, and it's custom. I decided to go with a gray wash stain. It's Arbor Coat by Benjamin Moore. Benjamin Moore is one of my go-to paint brands, and I absolutely love their Arbor Coat line. They have wood stains for exterior finishes in a variety of colors. I feel like this pergola is really unique because it's more of a gray tone versus your classic kind of redwood stained pergola. We tiled the patio to give it texture. I love these pendant lights. They create this beautiful statement. I highly recommend going over scale with your pendants in outdoor spaces. We kept the garage and converted it into an ADU. And you know, we didn't know exactly what we were going to use it for, but we knew its value. We went into construction for this ADU about 6 months before the pandemic, and so timely as it was, my husband ended up using it for a home office. We also do use it as a recreation space for any outdoor entertaining that we do. I like to design with a purpose, but in some cases, you're looking more at ROI, or just your property value, or having like a few different things to design around. You know, I approach that as like a flexible design or something that's multi-purpose. So that's where kind of an open floor plan really comes into play. We found this antique trunk at the flea market. It's the perfect place to just store all the kids' shoes, which really become like a huge pile of clutter. Having some sort of bulletin board is pretty critical for, you know, little kid reminders, calendar reminders, and then a place to stash library books and flyers and invitations that you get. This is our actually newly renovated bathroom. We just finished it this last week with this really rich green tile that we did in a herringbone. It kind of harkens to the exterior of the house, and I love telling a color story throughout a home. This really interesting marble, it's not Carrara, it's not Calcutta, it's like this lavender marble. It's a little unexpected feeling, it's super veiny, and I think it's a really interesting material choice. This is from the Four Hands art collection. It's another Slim Aarons, and how fun is this woman who's just kind of like monocled and just staring at you and kind of like judging you. This is my home office, and I wanted a room that had sort of like a French deco mid-century feel about it. I selected this gorgeous woven wall covering by Philip Jeffries. I added asymmetry to the space with a floor-length mirror over here. Asymmetry is kind of like one of my go-to design tricks. It also brings in light into the room. Floor plans that I'm reviewing. I love to have a Benjamin Moore color deck. Book stacks for inspiration, and of course a couple framed photos of my girls. We took a long, narrow stairwell and completely gutted it and made it something a little more grand. It's a very key architectural moment in a house, is a grand stairwell. We added this stark carpet stair runner, which I'm obsessed with. The primary bedroom and bathroom, we really wanted to create a private space for us. We made a really big bedroom. We added a fireplace. We have a reading nook, and we have a vanity, a desk for like journaling, basically. Ways you can create a studio apartment feel to your primary bedroom: zone your sleeping area, anchor it with like a really cozy rug, zone out a reading nook or some sort of living space, and then also zone out a place for a little creative spot, but not work. So it's really about reading, writing, thought work, drinking coffee or tea, and a sense of calm. This is my primary bath, and we wanted to keep it really classic in here. We went with all Carrara. Again, I'm really big on natural stone in my own house. We kind of went all over with Carrara. We put in a clawfoot tub, and we added in a stall shower. We didn't have a ton of space, so we elected not to do a glass enclosure, and it's very calming and soothing. I'd summarize the end result of this project as a place I love coming home to. We have maximized every square inch of this space over a decade to renovate it. We've really designed it to suit our lifestyles.
I think people would describe my work as very inviting, very comfortable. It reflects their personality with my expertise and the team's expertise. I am known for being able to really get scale, get proportion, understand color. We layer on a lot of different textures, silks, wools, bouclés. It's very cohesive. So when you walk into a room, you literally take the whole room in, and then you start kind of breaking it down and noticing the different elements of it. I'm Kendall Wilkinson, and I'm the founder of Kendall Wilkinson Design in San Francisco. We are currently in downtown San Francisco in a modern high-rise. The home we're in is a 3,200 square foot apartment. Remodeled the kitchen, remodeled all the bathrooms, brought a lot of light into the house, and have curated a number of different pieces of art and sculpture and carpeting, and it's all really very cohesive. In designing this home, we also need to take in the functionality of the lifestyle that the client was living. We opened up the kitchen. It opens up into the dining room and then into the living room and the entry, so there's a lot of open spaces, so really great traffic flow, really wonderful for entertaining a number of people. The living room is this really wonderful space that is so inviting. We've got this custom-made half-circle sectional we designed with this gorgeous alpaca fabric from Sandra Jordan. And we love the emerald green. We feels like it grounds the sofa in a room that does feel like you're in a glass box. Its focal point is this gorgeous etagere that we designed that the TV is centered on. There's a lot of fabulous sports watching here, entertaining. So when we're working with a home that's very contemporary and has a ton of windows, and you're dealing with different light factors, glare, even privacy issues, and how does it fade the art, which is very important in this home, or the carpet or the fabrics. We actually do a layering of window treatment, but one of the things is when a home is very contemporary, you don't want to layer on too much window treatment because it feels too traditional with draperies and too much fabric. So here we did a shading system that is plugged into all of the technology, and so by the push of a button, a shade goes down for filtered light, then there's another shade that goes down for, blackout. When we treat the windows, we put a UV film on them, so it blocks out a lot of the sunlight that damages the furniture or bleaches the floors. In the dining room, we have the beautiful David Wiseman fixture that is the focal point and sheds some beautiful light on the table from Coup d'Etat showroom in San Francisco. The carpet is from Taiping, and there's this kind of mimicking of this circular pattern within the carpet, a little bit on the table, and then within the light fixture. So there's a lot of like really wonderful lines that are circulating through, kind of softening of those right angle lines. And the ceiling is dropped a little bit with this wonderful light that is reflective. It has this very moody feeling at night when you're eating here. The kitchen was designed by Stuart Hills of Apparatus Architecture, and he and I collaborated on the finishes. We went to Da Vinci Marble in the South Bay here in San Francisco Bay Area, and we found this beautiful Calcutta stone and these gorgeous glass tiles. The owner has a chef who is an amazing cook who also helped us with the functionality of the kitchen and how it would best work for him. We use marble all the time in kitchens. There's a special sealer we can use on it. There are also various ways to watch that patina within the marble. So if it does have olive oil or red wine or some things that kind of get in there, it's actually part of the process. It's a natural stone. So Stuart Hills of Apparatus Architecture designed this incredible bar. And one thing that makes it very special is this is a quartzite stone, and we backlit it to give you that glitter and that sparkle. And he designed this glass rack. So from every view that you can see it, it actually looks like it's a standalone sculpture. And it just has this really inviting feeling to it. And it's a very small space, but he designed it to make it look very expansive. The breakfast nook, I think, is this wonderful, cozy space. Indoor-outdoor leather on the chairs so that they're incredibly wipeable if anybody was to spill. We decided that we needed this to be a very functional space that you could really clean up, not worry about things falling on the floor or scratching the table. And then the light fixture is this beautiful brass ginkgo, and it just has this really cozy niche area as well for sitting and reading or just hanging out. We're in the powder room, which is this gorgeous jewel box of a bathroom. And I love to design powder rooms with people coming in with having this wow factor. And it's the one room in a house that people go who don't live here who can really take it in and look at everything. So Willem Raquet, who's a decorative painter I work with, painted all throughout this powder room. And we even painted the back of the door because we wanted it to be this encompassing when you're here of being in this jungle of a garden. My client's son loves monkeys, and so we have all these really special monkeys throughout. And the mirror and the sconce was designed by David Wiseman. It has this very big jungle feeling. And again, these colors are all playing off the colors throughout the rest of the house. So the guest room is this beautiful room that I say is like homage to the heritage of the people who live here. So there's a lot of wonderful Asian artifacts, African art and artifacts, and we designed this bookcase that has a bed that comes out from it, so it gives it this cozy niche. The bathroom off the guest bedroom has this gorgeous green onyx stone in it from Da Vinci Marble, wonderful tiles on the backsplash from Anne Sachs, and then again it's that sparkle that we talk about with the mirror and the fixtures, and the whole thing just feels like a jewel box that you're in. This is an incredible infinity light fixture that we designed. Jocelyn Marsh is the artist. Gorgeous butterflies that she painted and highlighted with gold. And it just has this really incredible reflective infinity mirror feeling, which makes it feel like it's coming out at you or that it's going and retreating back. So the primary bedroom is this wonderful Zen-like oasis. Behind me and all throughout the room is this gorgeous DeGorny wallpaper that the client and I designed. My client is very into fashion and loves Valentino, and we based it off of poppies in a Valentino gown that she owns. And it has this beautiful cascading flower effect and then this incredible light fixture with it. So it would illuminate and sparkle, and it has this very shimmery gray silk wallpaper that it's painted on and gives us that glow at night. It's just spectacular to go to sleep in here. So in the primary bathroom, we also have this gorgeous onyx, and we did this book match on the walls that this beautiful soaking tub sits underneath. There's no natural lighting in that bathroom, so one of the challenges and what we wanted to do was give it some natural light feeling. So with the onyx, it feels like water, and then the reflection off of the mirrors, which were custom designed, which have this kind of really pretty light that illuminates out. It just has a very spa-like feeling as well. I would describe the end result of this project as one of the best pieces of work we've ever done. She loves being in the spaces, her family loves being in the spaces, and it is everything both functionally and aesthetically that she wanted it to be. I just love being here. This is one of the best projects we've ever worked on, if not the best.